morning, guys. Brian here. Welcome to Forex and Faith. Glad you guys are back for another video. I'm headed home from work. Let's chat for a minute. I got I think a good word from God today in my quiet time, a good insight, and I wanted to share it with you. So here we go. You ever have something going on in your life that is difficult, is taxing, is wearing on you emotionally? It is burdensome. Obviously, the answer to that is yes. So I wanted to talk about Jesus's advice, command to have peace. How do you have peace when you have something significant going on in your life that's either directly impacting you, or in this particular case, let's say you got a loved one. So if you're an adult, we'd be chatting about your kids, or maybe you've got aging parents, or if you're younger, in high school or college or whatever, you've got a significant other. So how do you have peace when a loved one is not doing well? A loved one is lost. A loved one is sick or hurt, or let's say that loved one is making a decision that is going to be harmful or hurtful, negatively impact them and those around them. So how do you have peace when you got something like that going on, was the question that I posed to God this morning. And so I'm going to just chit-chat a little bit with you about the answer that I got. So first thing he said was, don't confuse peace with happiness. He didn't say, I leave you happiness, my happiness I give you. He said, I leave you my peace I give you. Also don't think that Jesus said, don't ever be sad. In fact, the opposite. Biblically, scripturally, we are taught there is a time for crying. There is a time for mourning. We are told in this life you will have troubles. In the church, we forget that Jesus was often sad. Yes, Jesus is the author and the creator, the Alpha, the Omega. He knows the beginning from the end, but that is exactly why he often did have a heavy heart. Like a good father, his heart is burdened for his children. So we are made and created in the image of God. And as a father, our heart is often burdened for our children or our significant others or our parents. And God the Father is like that. So I got another 1 or 2 points to make, but just to summarize that, it's okay for you to have, it's okay if you're mourning something. It's okay for you to be sad about something. So that's the first piece of this puzzle. Don't confuse peace with happiness. All right, so the second piece, no pun intended, piece of the puzzle. All right, so I kind of get that. We're making a distinction between peace and happiness, and sometimes you're going to have a heavy burden on your heart. So then I asked him, all right, so what is peace? And what I got from him is, peace is the power to persevere when the circumstances around you are crumbling. The power to persevere when the circumstances around you are crumbling down, with this knowing. And what is this knowing? With this knowing that three things. With the knowing that, one, God the Father loves you. 2, all of heaven is cheering you on right now. And 3, there's a book in heaven of your life. It is filled with every thought, every tear, every choice, both good and bad. And the very last page of this book, this life book for you, is already written. The last page is already written. And if you use your imagination here, if you were to flip, when you get to heaven and you're going through your book, when you flip to the last page, I got an image, a vision from God of what that last page was, what it said, and it was one word with a signature. The one word in bold capital letters was mine, M-I-N-E, and then it was signed Jesus. That's the last page. So let me reiterate that again. Peace is the power to persevere when circumstances around you are crumbling down, with the knowing that 1, God loves you, 2, all heaven is cheering you on right now, and 3, your life book, although it is continually and right now being written, because you're alive and you're here today and you're doing your stuff, the last page of the book is already written. And it is Jesus telling the Father, telling the angels, telling all creation that this one is mine. Jesus has claimed you, and he has written it in your book. So, one other little kind of prophetic insight to flesh that out just a little bit more. He said, well, the advice or the insight is, I don't know what the next page of my life is. I don't know what the next page of my life is, but I do know what the last page is. Peace. You don't need to write the next chapter of your book. So relax. Don't worry about the next decade of your life. Don't worry about the next month of your life. Don't worry about writing the next chapter of your life. Don't write that chapter today. No. You need to write today's page today. You write one page today. And that is going to help you with this peace. So, in short, scripturally, biblically, we are told not to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to have its own stuff, its own problems. But today, focus on today. Write that page and make it a thoughtful page. All right, and the last kind of insight I wanted to share with you from this morning's quiet time. Sorry, I'm driving and occasionally get distracted. So, I got a vision of holding 2 different pages. One page in your left hand and one page in your right hand. In your left hand, hold today's page, the page you are writing for today only. And then in your other hand, in your right hand, I want you to hold the last page of your book, the page I just described to you, the page that says mine. So, lastly, all right, that's kind of symbolic. I get that. So lastly, how do I write today's page? And what he said was, in order to write today's page with peace, you need to come into today with an accurate world view. And that accurate world view is that today, there will be three forces at play today. Force number one, God, and God is for you. Force number two, Satan, and Satan wants to kill you. Force number three, you, your free will. So we live in this world, and this world is a dichotomy, where on the one hand, there's very little we can do to control what's going on around us, and on the other hand, we can absolutely make choices that significantly impact and control what happens around us. And to use a metaphor or kind of paint a picture, we are on a chessboard today. And on the one hand, God is sovereignly moving some of these pieces around the chessboard of our life to help us. But on the other hand, and at the same time, Satan is also moving some pieces around this chessboard, seeking whom he may destroy, seeking to steal, kill, and destroy us. So, how do we write today's page? You bring peace into today by holding in your one hand this understanding that all you need to do is write one page of your story today. And on the other hand, you're holding this understanding, this knowing that the last page of your book has already been written. And the punchline is, today there will be three forces at play on this chessboard. God's sovereign will and ability to shift and move some chess pieces around on your board in your favor. Secondly, Satan, who also has some dominion and some ability and some control to move pieces around and influence people and circumstances to hurt and harm you. And three, your free will. Your free will. So today I want you to pick a team. Pick a team and get out there on the field and write today's page for your story, your book. Well, I think that's about all I had from you. Hope that wasn't too rambling on. I know it kind of jumped all over the place a little bit, but anyway, I speak peace and blessings over you guys, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.